Hi guys, and welcome to graphing polynomial functions. Now, I want to stress something at the beginning here. This is going to be something that's going to be a little bit approximate. Usually you don't really do very, very specific graphing of polynomial functions until you get to calculus, because there's a lot that goes on kind of in between values that can be a little bit hard to predict sometimes. And so what we're doing is kind of an approximation, but this is how you kind of initially start to learn how to graph polynomial functions. Okay? Alright, so the first thing that you're going to do is you're just going to make a table of values, alright, and you're going to plot the corresponding points. So, these are some good values to use. -3 through +3 going up by 1s. You can, if you want to, just use -2 to +2. That's also fine. You don't have to spend that much time going through and doing all the calculations if you don't want to, but you at the very least need to do -2 through +2. Okay? So what you're going to do, I'm going to show you one of the calculations, and then I'm just going to fill in the rest of the table. You guys can check my math with a calculator if you want to. What you need to do is you need to be very, very careful plugging in the value into your equation. Alright, so your equation is right here. Alright, so what you're going to do is you're going to pick the first x value, which in this case is -3. Alright, whatever you've picked as your first x, and you're going to plug it in. So we're going to do f of -3. Alright, and so when you plug this into the calculator, you need to make sure that you're putting your value in parentheses. So over here, you have this negative sign, so it's -x³, so you have to do negative, and then in parentheses, put that -3. Notice there are kind of two negatives in a row there, and then cubed. Alright, so if you're putting it into your calculator, you would use the little caret sign 3 there, that works, okay? And then plus 2, and then again, in parentheses, -3 squared, and then plus 2 times -3 minus 1. And you can just plug this whole thing into your calculator all at once, press enter, and it is going to give you +2. Alright, so you're going to put +2 here. And then if you have a scientific calculator or a graphing calculator, you can very easily go back and just kind of press the up button and change the numbers, or you can press your entry button. You can have your teacher help you with exactly what you do with your calculator, but you can just go and then in your calculator just change the numbers that you plugged in. So you would just go up, you change that to a 2, so that would be -2, -2, -2 there, and then you're going to end up with, when you have x is -2, y is -5, when x is -1, y is -4, when x is 0, y is -1, when x is 1, y is -2, when x is 2, y is -13, and when x is 3, y is -40. Again, what I did was I actually, before, plugged these all into the calculator and checked them to make sure that I knew what the table was, okay? So you're going to go and you're just going to plot these points, alright? So the first point is -3, +2, so you go to the left 3, up 2, put a point right there. Okay, -2, -5, -2, down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right there. -1, -4 is right there. 0, -1 is right there. 1, -2 is right down there. And 2, -13, and 3, -40 are going to be off the graph here, alright? And so what you're going to do now is that you're going to look at the end function, the end behavior of the graph, okay? So if you want to go look at the end behavior example, you should go do that. So the degree here, we're going to look at the degree here. The degree is 3, so the degree is odd. And the leading coefficient is a -1, so it's negative, which means what's going to happen is that the x and the f of x are going to be doing opposite things, okay? So as x goes to -infinity, f of x is going to go to +infinity, and then the other way around. Alright, so when we graph this, as we're over here, it's going to go from up, down. We're just going to connect all of these dots here, and then the end function here goes down, put arrows on the end, and you're done.